my name is Joanna, and as some of you may know, I am Christina, Kira, and Noah's mom. They've appeared on Aunt Liz TV before. But what you might not know is that I'm also Liz's little sister. And she and I were talking about Aunt Liz TV and how you kind of had a break for a little while because her kitchen is going through a little bit of a transformation process right now. And I was telling her about all the holiday baking I'm getting ready to do for Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. And she thought it might be a good idea if I videotape some of the recipes that I do so that you can see all the different kinds of yummy treats you can make and give out to people like we do. We give trays of goodies to our neighbors, teachers, the school, our church, the bank, lots of different businesses and people that we know that we give little treats to. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be showing you some different recipes that I make, and today is a brand new recipe. I've never made it before, and it is called caramel apple bundt cake. I think that sounds so good, and I really hope you like it, and I hope that you add some of these recipes that we're going to be doing together to your holiday baking list, and you can share some yummy treats with some of your friends. For the cake mixture, you want to add 3 cups of regular flour and 2 cups of sugar. But we don't use too much sugar in my house. So what I did instead of the sugar, I put in 2 cups of Splenda, which is a sugar substitute. So in this bowl, we have 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of Splenda, and 3 cups of flour. Now I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, which is right here. Actually, I need to get some more of this, so I hope I have 2 teaspoons because I use baking powder a lot. So that goes in. I think I had just enough baking powder. Actually, I'm gonna have to go to the store and get some more. So I put that in, and now I need a half a teaspoon of salt. And sometimes the salt sounds like it's a little too much, but it really does make a difference to make sure that you're adding the right amount, because I always made chocolate chip cookies one way and I never put enough salt in, and they always tasted a little different. They just didn't taste like how I wanted them to. And then I put the right amount of salt in, and guess what? They tasted perfect. So you really want to make sure, even though it might sound like it's too much, you want to make sure that you use pretty close to that amount that they're saying you need. So now I had softened 1 cup of butter earlier, and 1 cup is 2 sticks of butter. So that's what you want to have, is 2 sticks of butter. I forgot to get the butter out last night, so I had to put it in the microwave to soften it. So I'm putting that in now. And then I need 4 eggs. And those are supposed to be at room temperature, but I forgot again to get them out of the fridge. Usually it only takes about 15 minutes to get eggs at room temperature. So if you're gonna be doing this, when you start the cooking process for the apples, just get the eggs out then if you remember. I'm gonna go grab the eggs and the milk. We need 1 cup of milk as well. So I'm gonna grab that and I'll be right back. So in this pan, I have 2 cups of chopped apples, which my apples were they're more medium size. So that was about 3 apples that I peeled and cut up, and then I put them in this pan with 1 tablespoon of brown sugar and 1 tablespoon of butter, and I'm just gonna cook these apples for about 10 minutes until they get soft, and then I'm gonna put them inside the bundt pan. So we'll see you in just a second. Hi, we're back. It's been about 10 minutes and I'm getting ready to put the apples mixture into my bundt pan. Now this is a bundt pan, some of your moms might have them, and it's kind of silly because there's a hole in the middle of it. See that? So this is my tip that all of your parents are really gonna appreciate. We have to spray cooking spray into the Bundt pan so that once we take the cake out, it comes out nice and even and nothing sticks and is left behind. But my tip is, make sure that when you spray the cooking spray, you don't do it when you're in the regular part of the kitchen. Make sure you are near the sink and do it over the sink, because when you spray the cooking spray, some of it might not all get into the Bundt pan and it might end up on the floor. And then when your dad gets up to get a drink at 2 a.m. from the refrigerator, he's gonna hit that spot on the floor that has the cooking spray on it, and he is gonna fall down, and that will not be good. So please make sure that when you spray the cooking spray, like I am going to do, you are by the sink, okay? So all we're gonna do is spray really good to make sure that it's completely coated, because we don't want any of it to stick, okay? So I'm gonna spray probably more than I should actually, but I just wanna make sure that it all gets nice and coated so that the cake comes out nice and even, okay? And then what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of flour in here and then roll the pan around like this to make sure that I get flour on all of the sides, because that's going to help release the cake when it comes time to as well. So I'm going to do that and then I'll be right back, okay? All right, my pan is ready, and now I'm going to take the caramelized apples out of the pan and put them into my Bundt pan. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you what it looks like. They look really, really good. So we just spoon the mixture in. And I still think that a grown-up needs to do this part because it's still pretty hot, okay? So you guys can help with the rest of it, but this part, just make sure that a grown-up does it. And I'm just moving the apples around a little bit so it's nice and even, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like right now, and we're gonna get started on the cake batter in just a second. And you know what, I just had an idea. Since I am gonna be giving this to my neighbors, one of my neighbors has 3 walnut trees. And I don't know if you know anything about walnut trees, but they produce a lot of walnuts. So I have quite a few walnuts to use. I think I'm gonna chop some up and sprinkle the walnuts, I was gonna say on top of the apples, but since we flip it upside down and it's gonna be, what's on the bottom is gonna be on the top when the cake is done, I think I'm gonna put them on the bottom of the apples, because then that will give it a nice little crunch when we bite into it. So I'm gonna get the walnuts chopped, and then we're gonna get started on the cake. All right, we're back. The cake is still in the oven, but I wanted to show you how to make this caramel sauce that is so good, and I promise you will never want to buy jarred caramel sauce again once you realize how easy and simple it is to make your own homemade caramel sauce. All you need is 1/4 cup of butter, which is 4 tablespoons, 1/4 or 1/8, it depends how thin you want the sauce, of heavy cream. If you don't want it very thin, use the 1/8 cup. If you want it thin to drizzle a little bit easier, use 1/4 cup. I'm gonna use 1/4 cup of heavy cream, and it really does make a difference if you use heavy cream or half and half or milk. So I always use heavy cream because it really does a very good job. And then you need 1/2 cup of brown sugar. So all you do, you turn the oven on, or the stove on, and for this I am using regular brown sugar. I know that they have, that Splenda has brown sugar in their line, but for baking, sometimes you need that crispness that you really only get with regular brown sugar. And I just really would prefer something a little bit richer for this sauce. So now I'm adding the 1/4 of a cup of heavy cream. Now, like I said, if you want a little bit of a thicker sauce, like if you're going to use it for caramel apples, then I would probably just do the 1/8 of a cup. But since I'm going to be drizzling it, I really want to use the 1/4 of a cup. So all you do, you just stir it together, and once everything melts, you need it to boil for 2 minutes, but you really want to make sure that it gets up to 200 degrees, because that's going to make sure that it's all the way cooked through and the brown sugar doesn't break down later. So once it boils, you want to stir continuously for 2 straight minutes. And then if you want to serve it right away when it's still warm, you can, but what I'm going to do is wait till it cools off a little bit, and I'm not even going to put it on the cake until the kids get home, and then I'm going to reheat it just a little bit so it's a little bit warm. And I'm going to drizzle it over the top of that bundt cake, and oh, I think they're just going to love it, and I think it's going to be a new favorite dessert for them. I know they really like this caramel sauce. I have to make this caramel sauce probably at least once a week because the kids or their dad want vanilla ice cream with caramel sauce. That's all they want. They don't want all the other toppings. They just want vanilla ice cream and this sauce. So it's pretty good. I promise you'll never want to buy another type of sauce again. You'll just make your own. It's so simple, so quick and easy. And I hope you like it. So when we get back, the cake will be done, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to have it cooled all the way because you can't take it out of the pan until it's cool. And you're going to put a plate on top, and you're going to flip it over, and I hope it comes out okay because it sounds really good, and my taste buds, I have been waiting for this all day because I knew I was going to do this. So I hope that it turns out okay, and I hope it's something that you guys want to add to your holiday baking list as well. Hi, our caramel apple bundt cake is all done, and the kids just got home from school, and I cut a piece for Christina and drizzled it with the caramel sauce that we made, and now she's gonna try it. I hope she likes it.
What can I do?
In a second.
Mommy, can
I think it was a success. I hope you guys enjoyed the recipe, and I hope that you try this and lots of other recipes. See you later. Bye.
Bring your family and friends. She's a magician in the kitchen.